Hi, it's Elaine from Inspired by My Angel, CLM, and I thought today I would video a swag that I'm going to be making. Let me introduce myself. I am doing these videos to take everyone with me on my newfound journey. I began wreath making in September of 2020 after losing my job, a part-time job due to COVID. It was a small ladies' dress shop and she was forced to close. That led me to be unemployed, and as I said, it was September. And while being at home, I was getting my home ready for fall that was approaching, and got my fall wreath out. And it was a little beaten looking. I had used it for a year or two. So usually I would go out and purchase a pre-made wreath, was my habit. But losing the job, and I thought, maybe I should be a little more frugal with my finances. Why don't I try to make one? So this is where it began. As many of you, if you're watching this today, you start researching, and I went to YouTube. And on YouTube, I found many designers, very experienced designers actually, who were willing to share their talent with others on how to create wreaths. So after watching many videos, I headed to my craft store and went out and bought some supplies, came home and made myself a wreath. And I must say, I was very pleased. It came out quite nice with the guidance of these designers showing me step by step how to do this. But what impressed me more than this beautiful design that I had created was the joy I experienced in doing so. I can't explain to you how I felt creating it. It was wonderful, and has released a passion within me that I just want to create. So the reason for doing the video is I joined 2 design classes online, one in October and the second one in November, and I have learned a tremendous amount by going, more than what I could learn on watching videos on YouTube. They go into more depth. I'm thoroughly enjoying and what I thought I would like to do is give you the perspective from someone new, just beginning, and show you not only what I'm learning, but what can be done as I go along on this journey. So that's the reason for my video. It's somehow to be able to give back. Since my journey began, I have opened an Etsy store, which is named Inspired by My Angel, CLM. If you wouldn't mind going and taking a look at my shop, I have about 90 different items, from centerpieces to grapevine wreaths, all the seasons and holidays and special occasions. Also some mesh wreaths that I've done, very whimsical. So check that out, and you can see some of the work that I've been able to accomplish with taking these design classes. So today, this is something that I just had my tutorial with one of my design coaches, and what she did was she had a pre-purchased twig base, and it looked similar to this. Well, I didn't have one. So I thought, well, I would really like to try this design. I didn't have the same products, but it was just the principle of how to build this is what was important to me. So anyway, I did come out here in my workshop, and I took apart a 14-inch grapevine, completely dismantled it, and then I just had these long pieces that were all curled up forming a wreath, and then I just shaped what I felt was similar to what my instructor was using as I watched my tutorial earlier this morning. And this is what I've come up with. So that's that. I went ahead and, you know, reconnected everything. Hers had a twig, all the twigs hanging down. So I think I've done a pretty good job of replicating what she used as a base. So this will be our base today. And then what she used was different. She used 3 large focal flowers. And what I've learned in design school, we go in odd numbers. And so it could be 3, it could be 5. Well, I came out to the workshop and I had a hydrangea bush. And I had 5 blossoms. So that led me to, okay, I'm going to create the design using 5 focal flowers. Okay, so that's how I picked these out. She had these long twiggy pieces that she placed on the top. I have 2. And this is going to be pretty easy to put together, I believe. I mean, this is my first time, but I think it's going to be pretty easy. And then she had another here, the center being where our bow will go. So you can see this is going to fill this up, and then we'll be adding in our florals. After she did the greenery, and we're going to do that step by step, and we'll be zip tying everything into place, she added a type of greenery berry that I don't have. So I had this, and I thought, oh, well, this would look pretty. So what my intention is to just get some of this going in up and down, and then this will be placed in here next. First the greenery, then our hydrangeas, then these berries, and then as a filler, I have this. It's very twiggy. It has a lot of movement. I love it. And again, it's picking up on that pink. It's one stem, but I believe I can take and just bend these in a downward position. So I can lay this, and I'll have some going up and some coming down. Then it was, okay, my ribbon. So I've gone ahead and made the bow to save time. And this is the ribbon that I chose. A black and white, because I love black and white. And it's a neutral. A pink to pull in the pink. And then this plaid that has this kind of chartreusey green. It has some yellow, and it also, I think, picks up the color nicely of our hydrangeas. Though it's not perfect, the hydrangea is a little bit lighter. It offers some contrast. So that's the reason. And then I just went back. I did 2 loops on each side with my black and white. Then I came in and I did one with this fuchsia, a hot, brighter pink that I thought matched this. And then my multicolor, 2 more. And then I went back and I placed the black and white to bring it forward a little bit to cover the zip tie I used to make my bow. This will be in the last, and this will go and hang down on our swag, this being the top of our swag. So just wanted to let you know what's going on in my head, and let's get started. Oh, I also have my Spanish moss. So when we're attaching everything, and if our zip ties show, We don't want any of our mechanics to show how we put this together. So I'll be using some hot glue and some moss to cover that over. So I'm just going to put that aside for now. And let's move these. As I said, I'm new. I'm going to try to go nice and slow. I watched the tutorial myself this morning, so it's fresh in my mind. So I feel as though I should be able to do this technique. So first of all, we're going to take our first greenery stem that has some fern. You can see this, if I can bring that up closer. It has fern, it has these curly cues, it has leaves. It's very interesting. So I just took that and kind of fluffed it up a little bit, leaving the longer one going down the center, one to the left and one to the right. To get these twigs, get some of them coming up, and I can twirl those. I just pull that out a little straight, but you can just take it and wrap it around your finger. It's all wired, and just make a curly cue out of it. Okay, so I've got greenery coming to the right. I want to make sure I have some greenery coming to the left, and we've got greenery going up the center. So I think we're good. Okay. So I'm going to lay that on here. My center is right here where I've connected my grapevine together. So I want that to be able to rest there. I don't mind that the top of this is going beyond this grapevine. I like that. So that one will go there. Now we'll take that second one, and that one is this one. I've pre-fluffed it a little bit. The same thing. It's 3 main pieces. So I want coming out left, right, and center. So now I would lay that on top, leaving room, plenty of room for my bow, which I can bring over so you can see. I'm going to zip tie these together and then attach them, and see, then our bow will go there and it's going to cover all of that. So let's get some zip ties out. I think I'm going to use these longer ones. Okay. So we've got our placement. So just like this is extending over the top of our piece, twist that way so our leaves going in the right direction. So that's coming above. I won't mind this one extending a little below our twigs on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is take the zip tie, and I'm just going to go around my 2 stems. Connecting those together, making them one. Let's say we have those connected. Okay. Then I'm going to take a brown zip tie. It'll blend better with the grapevine. And what I'm going to do is not go around my grapevine. I'm going to go through, grabbing some of the vine. This is where I had joined it, so it's a little snug in there. I may have pulled those a little too tight. Let me just use my plier, and I'm just going to stick my plier in there just to impress on it, just for a little leverage to kind of open up the vine so I can get this zip tie through. Okay, I think I need to come down this way more. Okay, I'm through the grapevine. I'm attaching it. Now I'll come up here. I'm going to go through the grapevine. See if I can grab that end with my needle nose plier. Okay, I got it. And now we're going to put another zip tie here. Pull that nice and tight. Then these. So I think I want to attach up here as well. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of the grapevine. Like so. Just move a couple of these pieces out of the way. And we'll put another zip tie up here because we want this to be good and secure. Okay, that's good. I'm going to do the same thing down here. I hope you can see this okay. So I'm going to come in, and I have a nice thick piece here that I can grab a hold of. And I'm just going to come around some of the grapevine and our long stem. There. So you can see that's not going anywhere. So we've got that nice and secure. Just get some of my twigs to fan out a little bit to the side. Like so. So now what we need to do is to cut off our excess stem. And where we cut off that stem, we'll, let me get some moss balls ready. Just take the moss and roll it in a ball. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places that we need to add that and cover our zip ties. 2, 3, 4, 5. In both of the classes that I take, they recommend always make sure you cover your mechanics. That's one thing. You don't want your customer to get the beautiful design and be able to see hot glue and zip ties and so forth. So, okay, I've cut that one off. So I've just got a stem that I cut off. Oh shoot, I forgot to put my glue on. Oh boy. All right. let's see what we can do here. Well, I'm so sorry that just happened. Okay, for the time being, I'll just plug in my glue gun. I don't usually care to use my glue gun. I like the skillet better. There's less chance of burning yourself by dipping rather than... But for this, we're not going to be using that much glue, so I think it'll be okay. I just turned this up. We'll see how long that takes to warm. We just need to wait. In the meantime, I can cut off the remainder of my zip ties. So we're going to be doing this in layers. This is going to be a very pretty, it could be used for the spring, summer. I mean, the colors, it would be beautiful for Mother's Day. Okay, so we've got those cut. We'll just get out glue from my glue gun so that I'm ready when we need it. I apologize for that. I thought I had it up and running. I know your time is valuable. I don't want to take up a tremendous amount of your time, but I really want to share this with you. And my hope is that I'll inspire you to want to try to create this as well. Okay, let's see if our glue is getting warm. Not yet. It seems like, I wonder, we had a storm come through this morning. I'm wondering if it broke, something happened with the breaker. Oops, that's getting hot now. Wow. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just apply a little bit of glue. On each of my, I'll do 3 at a time. And then I just go back and cover that, pressing in a little bit of my Spanish moss. So I'll come over here, get some on these two. Get a little more glue. And we'll get one. Two. And on this other one down here. Okay, so now I can come through with my Spanish moss. Just be careful, you're pressing on that glue. It's a little warm. And I got this one right here. So we've made sure that we've hidden our mechanics. Okay, now I just want to make sure, so I've got a fern going here on this side, and I've got a fern coming out on this side. Greenery, just get it separated, one coming over here. I've got one over here. Just trying to evenly disperse throughout. Okay. Now let's, next step would be our hydrangea. So what we're going to do is do this in a zigzag. So let me see the lengths I've got here. Okay, so what I'd like to do is take this first one, and we want to zigzag it. So the first one, I think I would come in, it's a little to this side. So if I have that one there, I would want to come in with another. I don't want it to be matchy. You want to offset it. And then I think another coming off on the opposite side. Maybe bring that one a little closer. Okay, so we'll do 2 at the top and 3 at the bottom. Okay, so I've got my longest. I'm going to run that pretty long, but staying within our line that we established with those first green stems. And again, I'm going to zigzag. So I would, let's see what's going to look nice. Stagger it. Maybe one about here. And this one not exactly the same, a little shorter right there. I think that'll look nice. Okay, so we've got those laid out. So now let's start zip tying those. So here's my first one. So I'm going to come in, grab the hydrangea stem and attach it to our greenery stem like that with the zip tie. Okay, and I don't want that to be flat. I want it to move a little bit. So I'm just going to give it a bend upward. And I think I can use another zip tie just to make sure that's not going to flop around. Yes, I'm going to attach another zip tie up a little closer just before I want to create the bend in my stem. Okay. There. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, and it's not flat. Can you see that? It's off. It's up in the air a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave the zip ties there so we know where to go back and cut and apply our moss. Let's get the other one in. So this one's a little high. We're going to stagger. So this one down here is nice. Let me give that a bend, see how I like that. Yeah, see how it's staggered? We've got one to the right, now we're putting one to the left. So I'm going to grab another zip tie and I'm going to go under my grapevine, grabbing that stem. Making that nice and secure. There. Yeah, so we've got 2 placed, and we'll move all this greenery around as we go through the design. Okay, so I've got, cut this off, I've got one there, one here, and one more up here. So okay, dab a little bit of glue on this one. And I've actually got a hydrangea leaf right here. Instead of using the moss, I'm just going to press my hydrangea leaf onto the glue to cover up that zip tie. So you can see that right there. Okay. Now we've got our other two that we need to cover. So I'm going to apply a little bit of my glue there. And a little bit over here. Come back with the moss. And just apply some moss there. Perfect. So can you see that? Where I've applied the moss, just in these areas where the zip ties are. I hope I'm explaining this and you understand. Feel free, as a matter of fact, I encourage you to please leave me a comment below on this YouTube video. It would help me if you would comment if I was clear enough, you understood what I was doing. It would help me for future. Like I said, this is new to me. I would appreciate any and all feedback. Okay, so I'm going to attach this other longer hydrangea stem that we have. That's more or less going down the center. Just get that turned the way I want it. And I'm going to tighten that. Okay. I'm going to grab another and come up a little higher up here. Slipping under that stem, the first one, and attaching another zip tie, making sure everything that we're putting in this is going to be nice and secure. Tighten that up. Okay. Okay, so we've got one placed. Give this greenery here a little bend. Sure our fern is showing, our twigs. Okay, so remembering this one is a little short on that side, so I'm going to put a little longer one here just to stagger the lengths. Okay, so that one would go there. And then on this side, maybe make that one come a little closer. I think that would look nice. So we've got our triangle. Okay, so let's get this one in. You just make sure I've got my greenery moved around so that it can show we had found our placement, which was staggered a little bit lower. So I'm going to zip tie that one in. Just going to grab some of the grapevine. I so wanted to try this, and like I said, I didn't want to wait. I'm always in a hurry. Like I said, I'm passionate about doing this. I didn't want to wait to order the base that she used. So I decided, well, why couldn't I just make my own? And I did. And if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, we just get some of this greenery kind of blended in there. Just going to cut a little bit of this stem here off. And now let's get that third one in that we said we would come down just a little, like we had done on this one. So we're staggering back and forth. Yeah, and I think right there, so you can see how we've staggered. And we'll get this one zip tied in place. I don't want to lay on any of these greens, so I'm just going to move that up and out of the way. Get my needle nose plier and reach in and pull that up. Okay, before I tighten that, I want to make sure my flower is in the right, going in the right direction. Which I believe it is. And now I'm gonna tighten that. Okay, so now we can cut off these excess. I think this is going to be so, the one she did was beautiful. It was done in black and white gingham check fabric florals with yellow. It's very pretty. I mean, you can use whatever colors you want, and most of the time I don't like to do exactly as the design, and they encourage you to be creative and create the design, but make it your own. And that's what I'm enjoying the most, is creating the designs and making them my own. But they're providing something, they call it a recipe. Like I said, she did 3 focal, I'm doing 5. That's what I had. So I'm making use of what I have. And like I said, not being patient enough to place an order and wait for it to be delivered and have to wait until next week to create this design. I was anxious to come out here and work on it and share it with everyone today. It's kind of rainy out today. I'm located in Central Florida. It's not cold. My heart goes out to all the people in Texas. It's so sad what's going on. But it is rainy, like that's what we're getting from those storms that are coming through, is dropping some rain here in Florida. But certainly I'm not complaining for what everyone else is going through in Texas and other parts of the country. But especially Texas. It's very sad to watch the news. Okay, so now we're covering our last zip tie that we used. I've got it all. It looks like I need a little bit here. I can see it from the side. So let me just get a little more glue. And I'm going to apply that on the side. There. Just pull that down. I'll go back through if I see anything after we've completed this, if I see anything that needs work. So just to bring that a little closer, you can see where everything is getting attached and covered. Get some of this out of your way so you can see. Okay, so now I believe our next step will be to, let's add these white berries. I wanted to pull the white in because we've got it in our bow, and to break up all the pinks and greens that we're using. So I took some, and I'm going to cut this stem because I'm going to be attaching here in the center, so I don't need this long stem. So let me cut that off. So we will have, let's just kind of span this out a little bit. So we'll have some coming left and right. Same thing at the top, some going straight up and then some to the side. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as best I can, I'm going to lay this in. I think that one needs to go up. Let me see. You know, I think I'm going to turn it around. I think this is the fuller, the bottom being the longest. So I think I'm going to put that down there. Oh, that's going to look nice. See how wispy? And we'll get that all entwined with the florals and the greenery. We'll mix everything together. So we're going to have one going up the center there. We'll have some coming around that side of that hydrangea. Get this greenery come. Yeah, I think right there is going to be perfect. Oh, that's adding so much texture and dimension. I love it. Okay. And we're still going to have plenty of room for our bow, leaving that empty plate spot right there. Okay, so now we're going to zip tie this. Just going to come under. Like I said, this is the first time. I just watched the tutorial this morning. This is the first time I'm doing this, and it's actually, I'm enjoying it very much. It's something I haven't done before by just using the zip ties to attach. And it's making this sturdier and sturdier as we go along, you know, attaching each layer. Okay. Come through here, feed my zip tie through. Let's attach that. Doesn't that just add a lot of interest? And that's what we want. We want our designs to have movement and interest. Okay. This is looking very nice. I'm liking it. Okay, now the next would be our branches and floral. So I would like to come in and lay that on top, and then we'll connect all of this together. So I think right about here, see, and that's going to offer a lot of movement also. We can curl these, get some of it under the floral, but let's just get it in place right now. So that's going to go right here. Okay, secured that. Just to be on the safe side, I want to do another. Like, as I said, the bow is going to cover all of this. I just want to make sure it's not going to twist when it's on the customer's door. This will be available in my Etsy shop if anyone's interested in purchasing it, probably within the next couple of days. And I'll need to take photographs and get it listed. Again, that's inspired by my angel, CLM. Okay, let me cut these off. And even though the bow is going to cover this, I think I want to go in and put a little bit of moss on these as well. Get a little glue. Oops. A little bit more. Okay. Perfect. We've got that wall covered. I just have 2 more I need to do over here. I'm not sure how long we've been working on it, but it seems like it's going quite quickly, but so just applying that glue, making sure I'm getting it on my zip ties and to the side, that nothing is showing, that the customer's not going to see zip ties and glue, creating a professional look. Okay. As I said, I will go through, and if I see any spots, like I just can see one right here, but while I'm here, I'm gonna apply some glue while I see it. And get a little moss in there. See another spot. I'm afraid if I don't do it now, I'll miss it later. So I'm going to just try to hit that with some now. Like so. Any glue you have on your hands or strings you pull off, just drop them back in your skillet. I use a, I forgot to mention that, an electric fry pan skillet. You can get them at Walmart, on Amazon. It's just what you would use in your kitchen to fry, but I just got a smaller one. And you just put your regular glue that you're using, your hot glue gun, and you put it in your skillet and let them melt down. And that way you can just, if we were doing another design, you can just put your stems into the skillet, and it's just quicker and less chance of burning yourself because you can control the temperature of the glue. Just get our florals turned, going in the right direction, giving them a little movement. So now it's a matter of moving our berries and these floral stems that we put in. I'm just getting some to come on under the hydrangea here. Just incorporating it into the design. Some of our berries coming up, giving it dimension, like so. We have that one coming more down the center. Bring this one down a little bit, have that sticking out the bottom. This one, we'll try to just manipulate it. Under. Give it a bend. Just do what's pleasing to the eye. Okay. So you can see that, and of course that's going to hang this way, this being the top. Next we just need to get our bow, and this being the bottom. Okay, we get that bow on, and when I made the bow I attached it with a zip tie, and then I placed a second zip tie on for my attachment piece. So now we just need to attach this. Right here. So our tails are hanging down. That's the way it's going to be on the door. Make sure I got that in the right position. Tighten it up. It's in the center. And clip off that excess from our attachment zip tie. And now we'll just fluff our bow. Okay, this tail, I'm going to have it go down. You can see this, will be coming out the bottom underneath our florals. So the black and white. Again, this is the way the tutorial was done this morning. This is the way she had it. Certainly you can place your ribbons wherever you want. Okay. So I just kind of want the pink one sitting on the black and white. The plaid coming this way and sitting on the black and white. I did the loops at 7 inches for the black and white and the pink, and then I came in 6 inches for the plaid. Okay, and now let's see. Maybe work this pink one through a little. Give it a little loopiness here. And I can just curl my ends a little. Give it a little loop. Like I said, we'll just roll up the ends a little and then pull them down so there's a curl. Let me turn this the other way because I just noticed where I'm getting you out of the picture. Move some of this. This is a large piece. Get some of these things out of the way so I can show you. Okay, maybe you can pull it there. There you go. So this is the bottom, so that we have our tails hanging down underneath. Then we brought the pink end through, and I just kind of looped that up here a little bit. And now we have our plaid. And I think the plaid, I would just roll it up and maybe let that come off to the side a little in a curl, like so. And do the same thing on the other side. Just roll it up. Like so. And then just pull from the inside where you started the roll. Whoops. Like so. So it just has a little curl. So those are kind of coming off to the side. We've got our pink here. We've got our black that will lay down on the customer's door. I can't even get the whole thing in the picture. So we've got our black and white. Came out really pretty. Oops. Here's the top. Turn that one in a little bit. We've got berries and large florals. Our beautiful bow. I love the black and white with it. I think it makes the other colors just pop. It's nice and loopy. So that's going to be beautiful on someone's door. So we did it. We created a beautiful swag that could be used through the spring and all throughout the summer. Very versatile. On the door, hanging in the home would look beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. It gives me great joy, as I said, to create. And I hope that I've inspired you and that you would want to try to do this as well. And experience the joy that I'm talking about with designing. I think it's the process of learning as well. I mean, I'm well past the age of retirement. And there's something about not being too old to learn new things, I guess, is what I'm saying. And I'm enjoying that aspect of this as well on my journey. So again, please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this video, how I did. Any feedback would be absolutely wonderful. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to my channel and watch some of the other videos I've already created. And I will be creating more. And I would love to have you come along on the journey with me. Okay, so for today, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you the next time. Thank you.